All right, we're back with another round, our 4-5 matchup in the Damn Gina bracket? Yeah.
Damn Gina.
Gotcha. So we have the Damn Gina bracket because Martin is the 1 seed. I feel like I can give explanations now since I had to explain Big Willie style. So we're in the Damn Gina bracket. In our 4-5 matchup, we have Sister, the 4 seed, facing Good Times, the 5 seed. So both these shows very iconic. A lot of people know these shows. Our criteria, again, star power, supporting cast, guest appearances. And so with that being said, we're going to start off with the first one, star power. Who has what?
To be honest with you,
Just to list out star power for our people. There's Tia and Tamara, or Maury, I think their last names are, versus John Amos and Esther Roll, which were the parents on Good Times.
well, you know, fellas, it comes a point in time where I have to just keep it a buck with you. I'm choosing John Amos and Esther Roll over Tia and Tamara because of who they are as people. They've been around a very, very long time. Well, John Amos, especially because he starred in so many different TV shows. He made cameos. He did some movies back in the day. So I would give the star power to John Amos because he is an iconic figure to me. Yeah.
Iconic?
What about Esther Roll?
Esther Roll?
Esther.
I think it's Esther.
Oh, I
think
forgot
it's
to put
Esther
the
Roll.
S on
It's
it.
okay.
He said ether.
Ether Roll. No, so there's Esther Roll, who was also the mom. Anything to say?
I don't know her name.
Anything?
That's your fault.
Anything to say about her?
She represented I think she was supposed to represent a true mother figure in the sense. To me personally, I don't know of any other things other than the good times for Esther Roll, but to in her defense, I think she played a good part in that star power with John Amos. So
okay, I disagree. When you say John Amos is iconic, I think of like Sherman Hemsley, who we voted for last week, which was George Jefferson. There's a lot of iconic people. John Amos doesn't come out to me as iconic.
You
as
serious?
Iconic, he doesn't come out to me as iconic.
To me, he was like the go-to guy.
Looking this up, like he wasn't even on all of the shows. There were shows where he was missing. If you're that icon, you're not missing shows.
Because he was doing cameos on other TV shows, Canal.
Yeah, but like Esther Roll was more. She was on more episodes than he was.
She was rough.
Yeah, and then like she never had a job. Like she might have represented what a mother was at that time, but
She
it
a
wasn't the
stay-home mom.
ideal role. Like a mom staying home. Remember, they almost got kicked out the house because they couldn't pay rent. Like I
It's
mean, you gotta be a
realistic to me. That still goes on today.
It still is going on today, but like she didn't get a job. Like just wasn't a positive. I don't know.
She was, but just because she
doesn't
didn't have a
seem
job, she's not
progressive.
positive.
Yeah,
That's
she didn't have a progressive role. I think she was just saturating stereotypes that already existed. Where it's like, oh,
That's
this
what she
black
was supposed
mom
to
here
represent,
who
though.
has like 2-3 kids. She had 3 kids, which was Bernadette, JJ, and then the son, the light skinned one, who was like the the political activist. So she had 3 kids, no job. The father's busting his ass to make things happen. I didn't feel like it was the best role, so I'm going Tia and Tamara.
Why?
Yeah. Tia and Tamara, because like they're still relevant today. When's the last time you heard of John Amos?
You mean he's an elderly dude? What you talking about?
What's the last guest cameo that you seen him in?
Oh my god!
You talked about him being in movies. What's the last movie role you seen him in?
Oh,
I got Tia and Tamara.
Lord.
Plead your case,
I'm not
dog.
sure which one is which, but one has a TV show. One was on The View. Another has its own TV show.
one is
They
on the,
both are mothers. They've been published in magazines about motherhood. One's married to like some reverend, something like that.
I guess.
Popularity wise, I'm going Tia and Tamara.
So you picking a more positive representation of what a woman as a mother, as that's what you're going with?
There was
So
like a
star power and
2-parent. Well, that
relevancy.
goes into supporting cast. That would make the point for supporting cast that I'm about to make. So I got Tia and Tamara star power over John Amos and Esther Roll.
Somebody help me the fuck out here.
I got the twins too.
Didn't get help over there for
But
the
you got
Parkers.
the twins for obvious reasons, though.
So what? It's my pick, damn it. And they still relevant. Just like Cadell said, motherhood, One of them got their own TV show. I think they have like their own. One of them has like their own cooking thing. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, they can't cook, man. What do you mean?
you go to this show where you
I
tell
can
them
relate
that.
to that. Then. So,
What do you mean?
even
I can
more.
cook. Feel me?
Yeah, they played the hell of a sister role on the show.
Yeah. And then like identical twins. Like where is that on any other show besides Mary
Y'all
Kate
are
and Ashley?
perverts. Y'all are not. Y'all are not choosing.
Identical twins. Like that was never on any show. I'd never seen that before. Besides Mary Kate and Ashley, and they was on Full House. They weren't even like B people. So Tia and Tamara, they had their own show.
And it was going through the trials and tribulations as young little black girls.
What
Right.
trials and tribulations of as young little black girls are you speaking of?
Those trials and
Yeah,
tribulations.
what
of
the
that
fuck
show.
ever?
Okay.
There was some life lessons.
Yeah,
Wasn't
what
those?
life lessons?
You
Besides
revert.
Roger
definitely-
trying to get some ass.
They definitely did have life lessons. There's an episode where like I think it's Tia, she's older, and well that gets into guest appearances. I feel like I'm jumping around, but they did go through things like certain episodes were like meaningful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Point proven.
You got who for star power?
Twins.
I got twins for star power. You have
John.
Got the old heads, I
Amos.
guess. Because that's what it sounds like.
Clearly.
yeah. All right, so we're moving into supporting cast now. Just to list it out for our audience, we have Lisa Landry, who was the mom, Marcus Houston, who was Roger's unforgettable character, and then Tim Reed, who was the dad. Remember, he drove the limo, which was pretty poppin'. He was also the more well-off parent.
Yeah.
And then for Good Times, we have Jimmy Walker, who's JJ, Bernadette, can't remember her name, Jeanette, who was the neighbor who would come over and just she had like a slick mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So who is
And
voting
Janet
for
Jackson.
who? Janet Jackson. Let's
Young
see.
Janet.
Young Janet.
We used Penny on that, right?
Little
Wasn't she
Penny.
Penny? Yeah.
The one who got hit with the iron.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Burned with the iron right quick.
I was definitely about to skip over her. I didn't feel like
Swammy.
she was in enough episodes. But okay, so supporting cast, who has what?
I'll go last. Because I'm tired of getting shot down. I'll go first.
You know,
Go ahead.
I'm going sister with this too
Are
here.
you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, Lisa Landry and Tim Reed. So they were the parents, but if you remember, they both adopted the twins, and then they had to find a way to like coexist as parents and do co-parenting. So they were never intimate. They never had a relationship. They just both had children that they adopted who found each other, and they had to find a way to make it work.
Why do you think
And
I'd be so
so-
positive?
Because why not? I can't support positive black shows.
This is
70?
black show too.
JJ was like a fool. Like I'm not. Like
Maybe that's
I
what I
don't-
like.
like that's something you could like. That could be your preference. But I'm saying Dino. He was an idiot. Like I'm not
Dynamite.
supporting.
But it was a catchphase at that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not supporting like dumb people. Like I didn't do it for my wife and kids with dumb son. I keep calling him a dumb son. I shouldn't be doing that.
Marcus Houston was the dumb little boy in the show
But
trying
he
to
was
get some
funny.
cookies.
He was funny though. Like he would balance out Jimmy. He would balance out JJ. So those were the characters they would have. They would cancel each other out.
I'm not picking Marcus Houston.
And then
with-
Marcus like grew within the show. Like he grew in the show
I'm not
and
picking
had a
him
role.
or his Pusha T braids.
I
It's not
got
going down.
I got sister because the parents had to find a way to coexist. They were never intimate and they lived completely different lives. Tim was like this rich dad who was driving a limo. Lisa, I think, was working in like a laundromat and just had to find a way to make it work. So I like that idea. I feel like they were better supporting cast than Good Times, which was just kids.
I'm
So,
tired of getting beat on these fucking options that we choosing for supporting cast.
I
You
mean, if
better
you
get
can
it
make your
together.
argument
I didn't even
and make it good, then people are going to vote for you.
Well, let me go.
You got.
You can go. You
Let
said
me-
you wanted to go
let me
last.
Let me go. Let me go.
Okay.
Let me go. I'm
You
picking
gotta-
sister to be honest with you.
Oh, there we go.
For every reason that you just said. To be honest with you, I didn't grow up with this
Good
era.
times.
So
Yeah.
sister was the closest thing to what you just said as far as co-parenting. I rock with Roger. Me and Roger similar. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get some
Thirst
thing,
bucket,
and then
huh?
he was trying to do a little something. So that's what I'm going with.
Roger really was thirsty. You know,
he
like-
was thirst.
Sister.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
You got-
Sister. You feel
Why?
me?
Any reason in particular?
Just based on what there's literally no other possible argument besides you guys.
Mhm.
To
Do you think he ever got through
No.
who?
Roger with Marcus Houston?
No,
No.
I don't think
No.
so.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
just for obvious reasons. family that had the mesh to make it work, and Roger being the annoying neighbor or wherever he lived used to drop by the window just to like check in on him. I feel like he was
He used to climb up the ladder
right,
to see them.
climb
Yeah.
up the ladder.
He was
And they would
always
push the
sliding.
ladder down and then like go home, Roger. Like memorable quote. I don't remember that. Besides that, I'm like, this is it.
You know what? He was always trying to slide in their DMs back in the day, so that was his version of doing that. So whatever.
Guest appearances.
Guest appearances. Let me read them out for our audience. For Sister, there's Kenan Thompson, Kel Mitchell, Taraji P. Henson, Orlando Brown, RuPaul, Kobe Bryant, Brittany Murphy, Barry Watson, Kyla Pratt, Mary-Kate and Ashley, Michael Clark Duncan, Brian McKnight, Lisa Leslie, Maya, Ted Riley.
There was more.
Yeah.
It was way more
that
on
you
there.
could have put on there. Yeah.
It was
And
way
then
more.
for Good Times is Philip Michael Thomas, Raymond Allen, Moses Gunn, Luis Gossett Jr., Debbie Morgan, T.K. Carter, Gary Coleman, J.A. Preston, what does it say, Conchata Farrell? Carl Weathers, and Jay Leno.
Do you know who Conchata Farrell is?
I do not.
You ever seen Two and a Half Men? The maid?
Yeah.
That's her.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's her.
I had no idea.
Carl Weathers is
Oh,
Action
wow.
Jackson. Jay Leno was Big Chin.
Shout out to Carl Weathers.
Other than
Apollo.
that, when you read these names, it's like I don't know none of these people.
But is that their fault or is it our fault that we didn't grow up in that era? I feel like it's hard to penalize them for
it's a
us. not
double-edged
knowing
sword.
We can't
Yeah.
say that it's our fault for not growing up in
Yeah,
that era.
true.
We can be a fan of it, and then
True.
you know what I'm saying.
I
But
just
don't-
wonder if it's like ignorance that we're picking out, like what we know. We're picking familiarity as opposed to like history. We should have took time to know.
Well, at the same time, when these people were guest appearances, they were popping in their
Yeah.
own little way as well too, because they were featured in some good hit films and everything of that nature. So,
Okay. So who has who?
Sister with the
Yeah,
I'm going with Sister on this one,
with
and
the
I'm
big
not taking
1-0.
any.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from Good Times.
Mhm.
It's just it's a era thing.
Yeah,
Like I can rewatch Good Times now and be
Right.
a big fan of it.
right.
But growing up, if we're keeping it to that, then this was the guest appearances for Sister and Sister was a thing,
Yeah,
most relatable
and it was
thing.
also good to see these other actors and celebrities and athletes on here.
any guest appearance that stood out to you the most? Pick one, because then I'm gonna ask Skeeter the same question.
Pick one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick an odd one. I like Brittany Murphy. I like the
Okay.
late Brittany Murphy. To be
Okay.
honest with you, because I like some of her films that she was starring in. So,
gotcha. You said you had Sister too.
and I'm picking Maya.
That's a good pick.
I was about to pick one. I was about to pick that.
Any guest appearance that stood out to you in particular that had you choose this one?
Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. That was an
Right.
interesting one because
Very
like
true.
two set of
So you
twins,
picking?
two set of twins on the same show. You don't see that often. You don't see that at all. Besides that, that's probably the only set of twins you're gonna get
Yeah.
again.
Twin
Yeah.
shit.
Twins?
That's unique.
Twins
That-
is like
that-
an
that
X
plays a-
factor, bro. Like
That is the X factor.
Twins is being an X factor.
You shitting me?
For the
Thirsty ass.
You better get it together. Nah, they aged like milk. They
Yeah.
aged like shit. They aged like shit, dude.
Wow.
Like Mary Kate and Ashley, they
Why
don't.
they gotta
Yeah.
age like milk?
They don't look.
No.
They don't. They don't look good at all, man.
You gotta violate them like that.
Disrespectful.
I'm
After you
saying.
just chose them.
You know.
For that show at that time. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
man, it's pretty
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I see.
Pretty bad now.
For the sake of argument, I still want to pick Good Times because of Carl Weathers, who was Apollo, who
Action
like,
Jackson.
body-wise was like a god, but I can't. I can't. Sister is just too strong. Brian McKnight was on the show, and if you remember, I think it was Tia. She was being led on by Brian McKnight, only to find out that he was married and didn't want any parts of her. So that was funny to me. Another person that stood out was Taraji P. Henson. Could you imagine Taraji P. Henson back then?
Young
like,
Taraji.
Who would have thought that she would have had the career that she has now? But for her to get like that start in Sister, that's pretty popping. So I think that really took me off guard to see Taraji in Sister. So I'm leaning. Well, I am going with Sister.
And Kobe.
Yeah,
Bean.
Kobe Bean, Mother
Brian.
Brian.
The GOAT.
That's the show where the girl, the sisters are having like a party, and
You
then the
gagging?
Are you gagging?
the sisters are having a party, and they invite everybody, and then this other girl who's popular brings Kobe Bryant in, and then she throws her own party, instead of the sisters. So that was
You
a
are
funny
a
episode.
sister fanatic, ain't you?
I had to do some research out here, brother. Had to do
you
some
just went
research.
through all the seasons.
Just had to do some research. So that's me. So what do we have for the rounds? Let's give it out to our audience.
We have sister 2.
Yeah.
1.
You do.
I
You
do.
have Sister
I have
2-1.
Sister 2-1. I have it going with supporting cast and guest appearances.
Just gotta chill out here. Like, just gotta chill. See why you got the sweater on now.
Sister for the sweep.
Okay.
3-0.
We gotta pick like a all
Tres
male
cero.
cast or something to see if you still
no.
choose the same.
I will. If you put Bad Boys up there, then that wasn't a TV show. That's
That
a
wasn't.
movie.
Yeah.
Thought and
Yeah.
bobbing ass.
Yeah, I have Sister 302. I gave it to Star Power supporting cast guest appearances. Sister 1 for me 3-0. So again, that's our votes. Get out there, vote on our IG page. That's where you can vote. If you want your show to make it through, you need to vote. So that's our arguments. And I guess we'll see you next round.
See you next round.
Boom, boom,